Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet, and today a shameless plug for a Netflix original. I have been watching Making a Murderer, and Making a Murderer follows a genre that I really thoroughly enjoy. Anything like Forensic Files or anything that involves, some kind of analysis associated with crimes. I mean, obviously there are shows like 2020 in the US. There are a bunch of these shows that cover actual events and actual convictions and actual stories of these kind of things. For me, at least, quite compelling. As a criminal mind, I think is a fascinating mind to probe. Making a Murderer looked like it was going to be an interesting thing, and truth be told, it's like, maybe 12 episodes. I'm at about the 9th episode, and the first 3 episodes, I thought to myself, this really isn't that compelling. Like, the guy who's accused, below average intelligence, just kind of a guy that was picked up in a kind of police environment that clearly is not particularly positive for folks that occasionally throw cats through fires and general edge of town miscreants. But by maybe the 4th or the 5th episode, and certainly when his nephew gets involved, the whole thing just turns to a decidedly darker view of the justice system and law enforcement, which I think is actually a fascinating and accurate portrayal here. That in general, the justice system and law enforcement don't work to the greater benefit of communities, particularly folks that are on the fringes of communities. And this has always been my fear, I guess, and I'll talk a little bit more about this in a future Short Funk recording, that when you're on the fringes of anything, you're easy to be picked upon. And when I look at certain parts of the US that just look absolutely exquisitely beautiful, I mean, let's take rural Georgia, for example. I'm always remembering, and I think it was my father that gave me this advice. He drove through rural Georgia once and he was pulled over by a police officer. And the police officer immediately knew that he wasn't from the area. And he was basically told to just get out of this area. And I think being independent of thought, sometimes occasionally independent in terms of my, general appearance and interaction with folk, I always think that you just got to keep just slightly under the radar associated with law enforcement, because any unnecessary interaction is not going to be a positive thing. And really, Making a Murderer is of that candor. I have a cousin who's a bit like the nephew in these circumstances, and my cousin's interaction with law enforcement just scares me. I just think in these circumstances, you should think of yourself as being prey. And unless you see that very decisively, you're going to get into the kinds of things that occur in this particular documentary. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.